Hi everybody, and welcome to MangaPod, where we can podcast, which we all get together after we've read all or part of a manga, and then we discuss it with friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. I am Erin of Happily Erin. Let me tell you the manga that we're reading this week. I skipped ahead a little bit. We're reading The 7 Deadly Sins is what we're discussing, chapters 1 through 29, volumes 1 through 4, which, by the way, you can read on Crunchyroll.com's manga section. I am Erin of Happily Erin. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, and with me are my 3 lovely co-hosts, as well as a very special guest. So we'll have them go around and have everybody introduce themselves, please.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dodger. I'm eating... Well, it was going to be a salad, but then I found out they were like, or we can put your salad on top of hot rice. And I was like, sure, I'll try that. And it's weird.
Oh, really?
I thought it was going to be like Chipotle, and it wasn't.
Did they put the lettuces on top of the rice?
Yeah, it's like a totally raw salad, right? Like all of this raw stuff, but on top of hot rice. And I'm like, the textures here are not working for me.
That's weird.
So that's what happened.
Anyway. A lot of us are eating tonight. I got chicken. I've got chicken and drumsticks going.
Yeah, I'm Yokurama, and I'm eating caviar like mixed with mayonnaise spread on bread.
What?
What?
That's what I'm eating.
It's a Russian thing. Don't judge him.
It is. This is the shit, okay? You guys don't know.
What?
Caviar, like, mixed with mayonnaise, and then you spread it on bread. Gray bread. It's like, takes a little, leave me alone.
Is it a Russian thing?
It's a European thing. You eat it, right? You like caviar.
Me?
Tam.
Oh.
You're in Europe.
No, I've
Yogi,
never
you
had
can't
it
just
before in my life.
Yogi,
Sorry,
you
Yokurama, you're
can't
on your
just
own.
gesture at your camera and be like, you eat it, right? There's 4 of us here.
Well, I thought you would get it. I guess I'm the only one. No, but it's good stuff. I mean, caviar. I love caviar. And, I don't know.
Yoku's a pioneer.
Yoku is.
So my name
But
is.
I eat almost anything, honestly. Like I don't really. Not really.
So do I. I have no boundaries. I just have water.
All right. At Anime Expo, we'll share a jar of caviar.
Dude, I'm in. With mayonnaise.
With mayonnaise.
I'll bring the mayo. Nothing.
Oh, boo, boo, boo.
Hi, Cam.
Hello.
You want to introduce yourself?
No, I think I'll leave. No. Hello, I'm Cam. It's 3:30 in the morning where I am in merry old England. So I apologise for being a bit out of it. So I'm also known as TenseiTwister on YouTube. My channel's kind of in a weird state of flux right now, but feel free to check it out. I do like merchandise reviews and like manga reviews and stuff, and I plan to start talking about anime very soon as well. And I also might be an amateur voice actor as well. Woo!
Nice.
So there you go. That's pretty much it. I pretend to be funny, and people kind of play along. So it's all part of the great
exactly
facade.
like my life.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. We're very excited to have you as a guest, sir. If you've never joined us for MangaPod before, what we like to do is give you a short spoiler-free description of the manga that we read, which this week, like I said, is The 7 Deadly Sins, and then we will give you our spoiler-free recommendations, whether we believe you should spend...
I was putting 7 up.
Oh, 7 up!
Hey! Whether we believe you should spend time going to read this manga or not. That way, if you do not want to be spoiled by our discussion, you can take your leave, go and read it, and then come back and watch the VOD of this on youtube.com/happilyerin, which is my YouTube channel, where all of the previous manga pods are hosted. Please do not, in the chat, spoil anything about what we read until we've gotten to the spoiler section, and also once we've gotten to the spoiler section, do not spoil anything past chapter 29 of the manga. Do not even post a fake spoiler, because a lot of people, most of us haven't read past 29, and we, may not know that that's a fake spoiler, and so you'll get a warning, and then you'll get timed out, and then you'll get banned. If you're on YouTube, you'll just get banned, so don't be a rotten bacon butt, and don't test it, you guys. Just don't do it.
Behave, children.
Yeah. So yeah, Cam, if you don't mind reading our spoiler-free description for us, please, sir.
Okay. How epic do I want to be with this?
Do it super epic.
So do super epic.
Do it super
Prepare
epic.
to get swept away by this epic story and colourful cast of characters that will rewrite the history of manga as we know it. A fantasy adventure tour de force has been born, The Seven Deadly Sins. It's a legendary gang of rebels that was blamed for the overthrow of the kingdom. Even after all these years, the kingdom's central guards, each of whom is a match for 1,000, the Holy Knights, are hunting down these wanted criminals. But when one young girl appears with an earnest wish in her heart and a determination to find the 7 deadly sins, the world gets turned on its head and an extraordinary adventure begins. The curtain has been lifted for this thrilling heroic fantasy story like none you've ever seen.
Ooh.
Dude, that was
Right.
legit
Thank
probably
you,
the
sir.
best job anyone has ever done reading.
That's
I
really
thought, you
good.
know what? Start off with a bang. I'm really tired, so I don't care anyway. Go straight in.
You got the perfect voice to narrate like somebody's life.
I know, you should come in
The
for
seven deadly sins.
every single description. Just like
Okay.
record it and we'll just play it.
Just pop into this.
You'll never sleep a normal night again.
I have a 9-to-5 job.
Not anymore. Thank you, sir, for reading that. Let's go ahead and do our spoiler-free recommendations. Would anybody like to go first? If not, I can go first because
You go first.
I really loved this manga. I really enjoy it. It had everything that I enjoy in a manga, which is really fun characters. That's like a big cast that are super quirky and go on an adventure. And it's shonen, and I love shonen, and they're like it's all so adorable and really fun. I liked it a lot. You should go read it.
Yeah, I agree. It was the best mangas. 10 out of 10. Fucking shonen.
Whoa,
Love it.
Luke.
Best.
7 out of 7. Come on.
Oh.
Let's be thematic
You
here.
done
Come on.
Did it do. It's real good, guys. Go read it.
Yeah, I'll agree. It's like pretty good. I thought that it was really good, and I really liked all the characters, and I thought that the art was real good. And,
Yeah.
and if you've watched the anime, I actually thought that the manga was better than the anime. It like they mostly follow each other, but well, they're mostly the same. But I think that the way that they give the reader information is better than in the anime. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Dodger about that. I watched the anime before as well, and I prefer this chunk because it doesn't cover the whole anime that it adapted. But yeah, it's really good. It's not like my favorite anime or manga out there, but at the moment when I was watching it and when I'm reading it, it sucks you into the story. The characters are awesome, and there's a big cast of characters, and more are being shown at this point, and it's awesome. Read it.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really good. It had some characters, which is always useful. No. So I first became aware of the 7 Deadly Sins when my flatmate started watching the anime when it was airing, and he knows my tastes better than I do. So I walked into the living room and he turns to me and he says, Cam, you should look at this. It's right down your alley. It's really good. And naturally, me being the wonderful listener I am, ignored him. And now I'm really annoyed because now that I've read this, I've got to go and tell him he's right again. So, but no, it's absolutely fantastic. It's everything that I would look for in a manga and more. I would say, like Aaron said, it's got quite a good, hefty cast of characters. So you're probably going to find someone that you like. The thing I like about this is that it doesn't throw them all at you at once. It kind of drip feeds you the information, and it's got this wonderful backstory. So it's like one of those things. It's kind of has all the trappings of a shonen battle manga, but it's also got this really rich backstory that I think is the main driving force that keeps my interest.
There's a lot of mystery in it.
Yeah. And the only thing that annoys me is that I'm gonna have to get this right around now. I was convinced that
Don't spoil anything.
Don't spoil anything.
No,
Okay.
it's all right. No. I was convinced that the leader, the captain's name was. Oh, I've got to get this right around now. Is it Meliodas? That's how you actually say his name is Meliodas. But I thought his name was Melodious. And that was really, really difficult to get to terms with when I was first reading it.
Merlot.
yeah, but yeah, it was great. I heavily recommend it. I'm probably gonna go buy the first 4 volumes like when I get paid, and I've already read them. I never do that.
Awesome.
Support.
Support it. Yes, so we all recommend that you go and read this manga and then come back and watch the VOD of this if you haven't read it already. If you don't care about spoilers, feel free to stick around. But now we are going to jump into the spoiler section as spoiler free as it's going to get. So let's do a countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hawk Mom is God.
Yes.
Meliodas.
Elizabeth is a man.
Meliodas. Elizabeth is a man. All of them are God. Diana's God.
I prefer Bond.
Oh, Diane.
Hawk is God. Okay.
Dude,
so,
Diane, oh my god.
Okay, we'll get in.
Okay, sorry.
To everybody.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
I
you know what's
your
the most
feelings.
shocking
I
thing
know
to me about this entire manga is the fact that I didn't get a text from either Aaron or Dodgers saying Ban is Bay. That is
Ban
most
is
surprising.
ultimate Bay. When I was watching the anime of this, I tweeted, like, I was watching it on our big TV, and I tweeted a picture of Ban, and so it's just like 73 inches of Ban goodness. I was like, oh, look at him. He's so handsome. He's so yes, so let's do how we usually start it. We usually start with the question, what were you expecting before reading this manga? Would anybody like to go first?
Can I go first? Because mine's gonna be probably the least interesting.
Mine's-
I've seen the anime.
I know, me too.
Oh, okay. Ours is gonna be the least interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I was expecting more of the anime, but in manga form. So that's what I was expecting. But if I go back to watching the anime at first, which I guess I kind of can, it's kind of cheating. But I always wanted to watch it as it was airing. It's my type of anime. It's very like it gives me that nostalgic feel because it's a shonen. It has that kind of battle after battle going on. But this one, I wasn't expecting more of the story or this many characters as well. That they just kept introducing them, and there's even more out there. So just I don't know. Just it's something that I knew I would like no matter what. There was no way that I would not like this. There's almost no chance that I wouldn't like it, and I guess I was right. Yeah.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah.
It's nice to be right. Yeah, I agree with Yoku. I devoured the anime in
I watched it in
2.5 days, something like that. I watched it with David and David's mom, and so that was real fun.
Wow.
And she was super into it. So listen, if a 65-year-old lady can be super into this, you'll be super into this too. And yeah, I was expecting the feel that I got from the anime. I was like, this really feels that they're adapting the manga pretty panel for panel. It's like sometimes when you're watching an anime, you can be like, this is obviously adapted from something, and they're pretty faithfully doing so. And so when I went into the manga, I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a lot of the same story in the same way and like all of that. But I really enjoyed the manga. I think because I really liked the manga's art way more than I liked the anime's art. And the direction of it. And also, like Dodger was saying, the way they presented the information, I thought was handled a lot better in the manga than it was in the anime.
Yeah, I felt like okay, what did I expect? Well, I've seen like 3 or 4 episodes of the anime so far, and so I was like, well, I'm expecting that. I wasn't necessarily expecting. I think more often than not, when you read a manga, they have more time to put in for more information, and sometimes you feel kind of bogged down by it, or like you can't quite keep track of all of it. And then the anime version tends to sort of pare it all down and make it more digestible. I wasn't expecting to go into the manga and be like, oh, there are multiple things that make more sense to me than they did when I was watching the first few episodes of the anime. I thought that was interesting. And yeah, I totally agree with Aaron. The art in this manga is fantastic. I love the characters. So yeah, I was expecting to like it. I just wasn't necessarily expecting to like it more than I had liked the first few episodes of the anime, and I do. So that's pretty awesome. So this is a pleasant surprise.
I I genuinely had no idea what to expect. Like I knew straight away going in that I was going to enjoy it because I've been told on good authority, like I mentioned before. But I had no idea what to expect. I haven't watched the anime. I've seen I read like a very brief synopsis of what it was about, and I was like, oh, that seems fairly interesting. But I'm terrible for looking at things, going, that's quite interesting. I should watch that, and then
never
just not
touching
doing
it.
Yeah, just not doing it.
That's the problem.
Friggin' One Punch Man, like.
I just finished that like 2 days ago, man.
Like
Finally got around to it.
I've watched one episode, but
Cam, what
I
are you
know.
doing on this show?
see,
Why
like,
not?
You could be
Log
working
on right
One
now.
Punch Man.
no, don't worry. I'm fixing it. It's all good. I am fixing it as well.
I'm fixing
But yeah, so I don't really know what's. I'm very tired right now, so I'm trying to like words.
You're fine.
Yeah, it was just great. Like I say, I think I quite like going into things with sort of a blank slate. And like I say, I wasn't expecting it to be as deep as it ended up being, in terms of like the rich backstory and stuff like that. And I genuinely just thought it was going to be about like this cast of characters. And like I say, I like the fact that not all of the 7 deadly sins are introduced right away. It kind of gives more of a sense of adventure where they slowly pick people up along the way. And of course, all the characters have their own unique interactions and stuff like that, and gives us a chance to really get to know everyone.
Yeah,
and
utilizing the helmets and stuff is so
yeah,
good.
and the thing I really like about this so far is the villains. Like in a lot of shonen battle mangas and things like that, you get a lot of throwaway characters that are just rubbish. Whereas they've kind of really driven home the point that the Royal Knights are all badasses in their own right. Like they're all just like immensely powerful and can like raise villages on their own. Which does kind of make me wonder how are they gonna build on that, but guess we'll see. But
Yeah.
this is definitely one worth keeping an eye on.
I know.
I feel like this is gonna be a hard one. Because,
I know.
because this doesn't get like super far into the anime. The anime covered much more than I thought it would. that's what I noticed.
Yeah. Wait, Luke?
My expectations going into it were I expected generic shonen. My only experience with the anime was the first episode, and I was like, all right, generic shonen, whatever. I don't need to rush to watch this. And so I went in with those expectations of this is not going to be anything special. It's just going to be another shonen battle series that I've seen 100 times. And while I wouldn't necessarily say that is entirely wrong, a lot of what Cam says plays into my perception of the show. Like it's the lore of 7 Deadly Sins that is gripping me. And that's something that I didn't get from that one episode. And now I'm reconsidering what I'm gonna watch the damn show. It's gonna be fun.
It's real gripping. I like it. It's just so fun. It's just so much fun. That wasn't like when I went into the show and the manga, I was like, if I get nothing out of this, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be really fun. Like that was the one thing I was hoping for, and I got that plus all of this character development and really interesting plot and stuff. So can we talk about the characters first? Because I just love them so much.
Yeah,
okay, let's
it.
talk about characters.
It'll-
Let's start
it'll
with
play
Meliodas, Melman.
He's got a cute face. I wasn't expecting him to have such a cute
Not
face.
in the anime. In the anime, his face
real
is
whack.
so borked. So when I was reading
Yeah.
the manga, I was like, thank God they
In
fixed
the-
your face.
In the
Like-
anime, the only one who really looks good, I feel, is Hawk. Is the pig.
Yeah.
Like, looks consistent.
I think
consistently.
that Ban looks better
Ban looks
in
really-
the anime than he does in the manga.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he...
Ban's got like a very angular face in the manga. It's
Yeah.
like very pointy.
He reminds me of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Like Dragon
Maybe
Ball
that's
Z
why
characters.
I'm into it.
He's very Vegeta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's start with Meliodas. What were your guys' thoughts, other than him having a cute face, which he does?
Because
But
I like that he's very self-aware of how overpowered he is, and he totally exploits that.
yeah.
Like with all what are you saying? Like being a penny thief, and just being an absolute pervert.
I like
has
that
no
he's-
shame.
I
and
love
he
how
has no
casual he
shame.
is about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love that Elizabeth is like, okay.
Yeah,
she just takes
She
it.
doesn't do the tsundere freak out thing. She's just like, oh, okay.
So the longer that I read, the more that I was like able to actually appreciate those perverted humor moments, because I was like, he's literally the only character who does it.
Yeah.
Like everybody else is just like, what up, princess? You're awesome. You're part of the team. They treat her with full on respect. And then there's fucking Meliodas, who from like first page was like, boobs, panties, anybody? And I'm just like, what? And
I felt like it laid it on a bit thick at the start, and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with how much they're laying on the pervertedness here, but I think that was just because obviously it's just Meliodas and Elizabeth at the start, and as they started introducing more people, it got a bit more diluted, and it's just every now and again now, which I'm a lot more comfortable with.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. I was like, I'm able to actually find this humorous because it's just this character being a super weirdo.
Yeah.
I was like, am I being made to feel uncomfortable by like perverted stuff? Am I getting old? Genuinely how I felt.
I know, I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
But then it got, like you were saying. And I love that he uses it to, like, his advantage in fights sometimes. Like, the
Against
one
the
in the
goblins.
forest, when he, like, takes off her panties just so that he can, like, tell who she is later on.
Yeah.
I was like, you used your perversion for good.
I don't know how I feel.
I love how, like, his character design, I really like his character design. At first I was just like, okay, this is weird. Like, a weird, for how powerful he is. The, like, dynamic, I don't know if that's the right word, but between his looks and his, like, power and personality. But as it went on, I felt like his very childlike looks made the points when he was really serious and, like, Demon Man, that much more, like, that much more, I don't know, it drove them home that much more when, like, his character design was used to look darker at those points. I was like, oh.
One of the things actually before I watched the anime was I saw obviously Meliodas on volume covers and trailers and clips and stuff, and I was like always thinking like, wait, that's the main character? Like, everybody else looks like almost you know, like there's Bond, you know, jumping around. I'm like, oh yeah, that guy looks cool, but like what's up with this kid, you know? Like, he has this cool sword or whatever with the whole dragon on it, and I was just like, I didn't know what to expect. And for the first few episodes, actually, when I watched, it took me a while to get used to his look. Yeah. But when more of his backstory and the whole him, you know, going crazy, and seeing his power.
Spoil shit, Yoku! Oh my god!
End of chapter 29. They or no.
That's not spoiling.
No, there's the part where he, like, the doctor is where you see his, like,
Where you get like the thing that's great about him is you get the glimmers. You get these glimmers of, like,
you get the glimmers.
He is clearly more of a badass than he's letting on, and he's already a badass.
You had the flashback with oh my god,
there's look, I didn't watch the
my
anime. So I can say
bae!
this
What's my
because I only
bae's
read
name?
The only
Ben.
Ben?
Ben.
Yeah. There's a flashback with him where the captain, like, he's a little freaked out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when he's trying to steal the sword.
When he talks
touch
about
him?
how he got his one scar.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
And
only
then there's that. Oh, go on.
Sorry. The only moment that I was gonna say was when they're talking about, like, oh, I heard that once, like, the sin of wrath, like, got really angry one time, like, that whole thing. But that's all we've heard, I think.
No, there was that flashback where the capital
leveled
city have a sister city, and they're just like, yeah, Meliodas got really angry one time, and now that's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
What?
we
I
don't know
don't
how-
remember that.
Yeah, it's just
That
That was
was
like
just
chapter
gone.
28 or something.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
near the end.
He destroyed an entire country.
You got mad.
There's just this shot of him in his armor with his helmet
there's like
off,
a-
and
and
then
there's
there's
a
a big hole in front
Yeah,
of
this
him.
black hole.
I
And it's
don't
just
even
like
remember reading that.
Did you read up to 29?
Yeah.
it's pretty like it was
I think
pretty.
it was in, like,
Whoa.
20.
It was like a 2-page spread. I mean, I was, you might have missed it somehow.
He literally just pressed the delete button.
Yeah, maybe you double clicked or something. It like skipped the
You
page.
did a double click. That's possible. Yeah, Yoku, like what you were saying about how you would always see the promotional art and stuff. whenever I saw Meliodas, I was like, is he just like, he's a child? I wonder what the dynamic with.
Yeah, I
him
wasn't
is.
sure what the hell. Like, what do I expect?
Yeah, and then when I was watching, I was like, oh, okay, this is okay. I get it now.
And you just get used to him because he doesn't act like a child at all.
No, not
He
at all.
acts like a mature adult. He knows what's up. He knows
mature.
Mature.
Hey, he knows when to be serious. He knows when to goof around. I mean, that's what I mean by mature.
I think
mature people aren't always serious.
One of my favorite moments with him is when Gil, is that his name? Gil, the one lightning holy knight.
Gil Thunder.
Gil Thunder, yeah. When he throws the like
was so
arrow
good.
thing, and Meliodas hears it coming, and he goes out and he grabs it, and then the way he like turns and throws it back. Oh my god. That's
that was
probably
so
one of my
I
favorite
was
moments
like,
of the entire manga.
Is he gonna catch it? I was like, is he gonna catch it? Is he gonna catch it? Oh, he caught it. And then there's like the next panel where he starts turning. I was like, is he gonna throw? He's gonna throw it back. Oh.
Yes, the part where he threw it back. That was like the most badass part.
That was the initial point where I was like, hype engines engage.
It was so I got goosebumps just remembering it.
So good.
It's really cool in the anime too. It's like, yeah, so I love that part in the anime, so then like when it happened in the manga I was like, oh god, it's even cooler here. Because we'll talk about art later.
It looked really cool.
Yeah, it looked awesome. So Meliodas, and then the second sin is Diane. No, Mina's Diane. What are you guys' thoughts on waifu?
Can I have one?
Can I have
I live on like the 22nd floor apartment, so you can just like stand there and I'll be able to see it from outside my window. Be all good.
If I could give you a Diane, I would.
She's great. I think I like.
I'll go ahead.
I was gonna say I just like the fact that it's really different and like original to have like a giantess be one of the main cast.
She's so cute too.
Yeah, she's so adorable. I love the fact that they don't make up some bullshit reason why she can be small. Like, she is big the entire time. Like, there's no, I can actually go down to a human whenever I want. Yeah, she has.
I wonder if there'll be like
huge.
a increase thing where they do that, but they do it kind of like the Wasp, where she goes down to human size, but all of her power is compressed down into a small body, so you can just like level a city by punching someone.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
I
didn't expect there to be a giant in this anime at all. And I saw like the pictures. I'm like, oh, okay, that looks like a team. And I saw her and stuff, but I never really noticed that she was massive. Like I didn't see that much stuff.
I think I was telling Aaron this, but yeah, the first time that you saw like the lineup, I was watching the anime with Sam, and I was like, oh man, it looks like there's a giant, and he was like, obviously they made it so that everybody just looks like extreme versions of themselves. There isn't going to be a giant. And then that very next episode, we were like, it's a giant!
When I first learned that Diane was a giant, it was because I looked at like a cosplay group shot, and they'd literally photoshopped the Diane cosplayer to look massive compared to everyone else. It was genius.
And the thing is, it actually works. I mean, it works with the story. It's not annoying. It's not like she's not like in the way, and she's not because I could see having a giant around at all times. Yeah, could get a little bit hard to write.
I think there are like moments where it is like a real issue. Like she can't go into houses, and she's really
but that's a good thing.
Yeah, but they deal with it. They kind of address it and go, right, she has these limitations, and this is how we get around it.
Yeah.
I like the fact
Can I say my favorite?
No, go on, Lou.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I like that she. I've lost my chain of thought now. No, she's constantly like fawning for Meliodas' affections, but it's
that's
not,
exactly what I was gonna say. That's like my favorite part of her character is how dedicated she is to Meliodas.
But it's not intrusive or obtrusive. Like it doesn't.
It is. She keeps fucking shit up because she gets so excited about it.
But there's that bit where she's on the floor and she's like, "Oh no, I'm dying. Melodious, help me, I'm dying."
And they were
it's
trying
like,
to get
dying.
through the frickin' checkpoint with the assistant holy knights, and Meliodas was like, "Don't worry, guys, I got this." And like, they were like, "Have fun. We'll come by your tavern sometime. It's no problem." And before they even walked by, she was like, I'm so excited that you called me your main attraction. I'm so happy. And I was like, Diane, no.
Thanks, Captain. Captain. Yeah, that's where I was like, Diane, no, why? Why?
Diane, why?
Diane,
It's
no.
because she's a naive baby.
Yeah. I love that there's no, like, with her and Elizabeth, I love the relationship between them, that they're not, like, pitted against each other, that, like,
Yeah.
they respect each other.
They very
really,
quickly
like,
become teammates.
yeah, and there's no, like, annoying cattiness that happens there. That was something I was very appreciative of. Like, yay, the two lady characters like each other and aren't just, like,
How
squabbling
novel.
constantly. Yes.
I really like King a lot, and I know we haven't seen him that much, but I think he's so adorable. I'm just like, he's a fairy king! Ah!
He's so precious.
And he's in love with Diane.
Yes.
Like, oh, tall and small.
I loved Ban's reaction to when he found out that it was King. He's like, that's not King.
Yeah.
Clearly an imposter.
Obviously.
Clearly it's
imposter.
not.
Yeah.
And then he just like his face, the art on his face when he like freaked out about it.
I also love when King finds out that Elizabeth is a princess and like transforms back into his fat self. Like, this is my proper self to meet a princess with. Like, you don't have to do that.
King, no.
Fun for me.
Something that he like really drove home for me is how all of the sins are like, a lot of them their technical sin, like, it's not everything that they are. Like, there's very minor, like, you see it as you learn more about them, you start to see the glimpses of like, oh, that's why they are this sin. Whereas a lot of other times it's like, oh, they're this sin, obviously they're always angry and responding to this.
Yeah.
And this. I don't know, it like becomes literally everything that the author paints the character as. Whereas with this, it's just little minor, like, it's just these details, like, especially with King, because he's sloth, and it's like, you're like, what? He's not sloth, but then you realize he floats around on a pillow because he's too lazy to like walk and stuff like
I think
that.
it's most prominent in Ban.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
it's probably
for sure.
like, because he's greed, isn't he? So, yeah, I think that it kind of defines his character the most definitively. It is sort of kind of everything that he does is for his own gain, sort of thing. Or, well, as it appears, anyway.
Yeah. I love him so much too. Anyway, yeah. But like how his is the most apparent. But with everyone else, it's like, I don't know, as you learn more about the characters, you see it like pop up here and there, and you're like, oh yeah, there's sin. Like, there's that sin.
Ah, I found it.
They've got a wicked tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's obvious that they're titles that were granted to them and not like everything that they are.
Oh, yeah, they
you know?
weren't born to be that sin.
Yeah.
I was really surprised to find out that they were all like ex-holy knights. I thought that was really cool. How they used to be part of the sort of organization that they're now fighting to take down.
Yeah.
And the whole thing of like, oh, they staged a coup d'etat, but that's not true. It was like a big conspiracy. Like,
Yeah.
you get the first glimpse of it when you have that moment where Melodius is like, we got to this point and we found out that the head of the Holy Knights had been murdered, and they literally don't remember anything else.
Yeah. There's that that big old
I was like,
mystery.
oh, suddenly they're like fugitives, and I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I'm not gonna look at Aaron or Yoku, just in case.
I can't say anything to what you're saying.
Just in case they make a facial expression that
I
Here,
just wanna
what
say-
face? Here, I'll just go like this the whole time.
I was just gonna say that I'm really curious why Meliodas still looks like a little kid, and I know that they've mentioned a couple of times now, like the cup with like the water from the Fountain of Youth or whatever else, and so I'm wondering if that has something to do with it.
I have
that's
a
all.
theory. I have a theory.
What's your theory?
But it's not. My theory is
It's really hard to hold that face. Sorry. go on.
my theory is that they've all been thrown into the future. Because they don't remember anything. They just, like Meliodas says, I just turned up in a basement. So
Right.
maybe they got thrown 10 years into the future.
I guess, yeah, they haven't specified how long they've been hiding out, right?
Yeah.
But they-
in the basement.
Bill-
and,
I suppose-
it's
I
Attack
suppose
on
he would-
Titan out
They
there.
say they haven't seen each other for 10 years.
I suppose
Yeah.
they would know.
Yeah.
I suppose Meliodas would know if he'd been thrown 10 years in the future. So ignore me.
hey, but hey.
They
Good
do
No, I
comment
like
on
that
their
you're
wanted
bringing
photos all
theories
the
to the
time.
table, though.
Time travel. Whoa.
What could this manga mean?
Time travel
maybe
is
it's
usually
like-
never the answer in manga, so.
You never know.
And then
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
you
whole
never-
Ban was in jail for 5 years.
I
Yes,
love the fact that Ban was like, I'm tired of this pain, and broke out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he was
Oh,
literally
no.
like stuck in there and just went, you know, I'm
If we're
screwed.
gonna
over
if we're
this.
gonna move on to Ban, yeah, my
Yes.
favorite bit that just defined his character straight away for me is when he leaves the cell and he's got this big beard on and he fights Jericho and Jericho's all like wah and he basically uses her attacks to shave himself.
His beard.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh.
Suddenly
Or
I'm
wait.
fishy.
Yeah.
I love him so much. He's
Yeah,
such a
I'm-
little
I'm
dick.
very in two minds when it comes to Ban because I'm like it's almost like every panel that he's in I'm like Ban he's such a dick and then every other panel that he's in I'm like oh Ban I love you.
Exactly, that's how I feel too. Like he's got these moments of just real tenderness, and it's like, oh man.
The bit where he takes the knife from like the doctor's daughter and she's like can I have my knife back and he's like no it's mine.
Yeah. It's like, nah.
But then juxtapose that with the whole storyline in the like City of the Dead or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where King's sisters are like, yeah, he's actually really, really nice and I love him. He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King's just like, what?
Yeah, and they were like,
What?
and then he had to leave, and I was like, no.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, gosh, I don't even know. I just love how I love his relationship with Meliodas. Their relationship.
They're like BFFs.
When they said hi
Yeah.
to each other, that was like the best thing ever.
So-
Yeah.
Beating the crap out of each other and like arm wrestling and destroying.
Where they're like they run at each other and then just smack each other around.
They're just high-fiving and then just get smacked through the wall. And then they like jump at each other and start having like an arm wrestling match. I just love the fact that they had that like magical seal that sealed
Yes!
them all inside the prison. And what destroyed it wasn't them being like badass or anything, it was just their pure rambunctiousness that just tore it all apart.
They're just so happy to be friends. That's ultimate friendship right there. You destroy places with it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fact.
All of the relationships are very interesting because it's not just like one character is the same with every other character. Like each character's relationships with different characters are all like there's something to every single one for the most part. Like Ban and Diane don't really have much.
They don't. Diane
going
doesn't
on
seem to
together.
doesn't like Ban very much
Yeah,
from what I can gather. But she's not like King in that she's aggressive about it.
Yeah.
She just kind of keeps her distance.
Yeah, she's very like, but then we have like Ban and King, and then we have King and Diane, and then we have Diane and Millie. So it's just like all of the different. I don't know. I won't.
The only relationship that hasn't really been fleshed out to this point has been King and Meliodas. I think that's
Yeah.
one that I would like to see built up a little bit more.
like how they.
The only thing that makes me think of is that bit where King's just like, "Where are all your sacred treasures, guys?" And then they're just like, "I sold mine, I lost mine, and mine got Ban's got stolen from him." And it's just like,
It's just like yeah, King's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like
you,
even the captain.
the master thief who steals everything.
I love it.
I do like that they introduced that subplot though. So there's like
Yeah.
the series has legs. Like it's got a lot that it can do
Mhm.
because it's introduced the concept of the sacred treasures, which raises more questions about Meliodas' sword as well. Because I just assumed that was his
Me
like
too.
thing that he had.
Yeah.
So
They're really good. The mangaka is really good at like bringing up little hints of plot here and there that like you're like, oh, now there's going to be this storyline that happens whether they're on this one, so then what's going to happen with this? So it's like it's all very interesting without feeling convoluted.
mhm.
Because I feel like, oh my god, there's too much happening. It's just like, oh, okay, so now that's the thing that's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah.
Let's talk about best character ever. Hawk.
I knew you were
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say Hawk.
Who else?
Who
You mean
else?
you mean Captain Rotten Bacon Butt?
Cat.
That's-
Our
Because that's what
new
it is.
our new
So, like,
mascot.
Our new
mascot.
MangaPod
I
mascot.
wish.
Yes.
He's so funny to me. I'm sure a
just reminds
ton of
me of,
people hate him, but I've always found him quite enjoyable for the most part.
I just look at Hawk and I'm like, you are just like the Seven Deadly Sins iteration of Puck from Berserk. Like, that is all I can see in Hawk.
It's true. Speaking of Berserk, by the way, I was trying so hard to figure out what the armor, like the Holy Knight armor, kept reminding me of. Some of the Holy Knight armor sets in this are super Berserk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
like the
yeah,
like
you're
the
right.
designs and stuff. I
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
such a
I can see what you
weird
mean. Yeah.
crossover. Yeah. It was really
But then again, I
interesting.
would say, like, one of the things I'd probably explain this as is it's like a Berserk for people who can't deal with Berserk.
Ladies.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. For babies.
That's not
It's
not
like
a bad thing.
Berserk
Like, Berserk
G.
is very heavy and very gritty and dark, and not a lot of people are into that. Unless you're like me and I'm super into it. But Seven Deadly Sins is kind of, it takes a lot of elements from that, I think. And I did see a lot of shades of Berserk in there, just with the way the world is. And that's not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. Anything that takes from Berserk is great.
The like fantasy, the dark fantasy side of it.
Dark fantasy is best fantasy.
So good. I agree. I was gonna. Okay, let's see.
Have we talked about Elizabeth at all?
Oh no.
No, we haven't. She kind of got left by the wayside a little
Let's talk
bit.
about Elizabeth, guys.
Bless her.
Your
She's
feels
adorable.
on her.
I don't really like her. Like, she's had some really great moments, but overall, I would say they're like, I don't know. She's just kind of being dragged along by the Sins. Like, they're advancing the story, and she's just kind of along for the ride.
Yeah,
I'd say she's certainly the weakest character of the lot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
I
her
would
grabbing
totally-
the bell was probably her standout moment so far for the series. and I
Dude,
thought
that was
really
so
interesting.
badass. I was like, yes, Elizabeth. But yeah, I totally agree with you. She's had a couple of moments where I'm like, yes, Elizabeth. And then she sort of like reverts back to background character Elizabeth. And I'm like, you're the princess.
I like Elizabeth. Like, there's a part of me that doesn't want to see any harm come to her. But like you say, it's not really, didn't stand out. There was that bit though. Did you guys work out that the little kid was Ruin in that fight, like before it was revealed? Because I did, and
That what?
You know, Ruin. The 4 knights that they fight, and
Yeah.
the bit with
Yeah.
the bell.
Yeah.
Ruin is the knight
Oh!
that had that staff.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. He was a little kid.
I worked out that Ruin was the little kid pretty much
Yeah.
straight away.
Yeah.
So when there's that bit where she's like hugging the kid in the bug storm thing, I was like, no, this isn't gonna go well.
Oh no.
No, I didn't figure that out at all. That was a surprise for me, for sure.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with her. Like at this point that we read up to, but she wasn't anything special. But like
She needs to learn to fight.
I just didn't
think
really
that's the
didn't
only
really
thing.
care about her. She was like the least interesting character, but
Yeah.
she was not annoying. Like,
I think
Yeah.
if she learned to fight, then they kind of introduce her sister, who's a bit of a badass. Maybe she'll come around and teach
Oh
her how
yeah,
to
we
fight.
met her sister. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
She's awesome.
yeah, Victoria. Is that her name?
Victoria.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
She's
her
good.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, Elizabeth was very... I felt that way about her in the anime, too, where I was like, I don't hate you, but you're kind of just the thing that's there. Like,
Yeah.
At the
Beautiful.
start, she was a good foil to Meliodas, but I think
Yeah.
as more characters have been introduced, she's just kind of been diluted.
yeah, like, she's the shadow and everybody else is the light, and she kind of just...
She's the Kuroko without
She's
wanting
the
to be Kuroko.
Maybe they'll
which
use that.
should be an honor.
should be. Yeah, so she was kind of, I don't know. I don't think she's going to be able to do anything to make me like her less. I think she can only... I'm hoping that she'll only get more enjoyable as it goes
Unless
on,
she gets
so.
kidnapped like 50 times.
Oh, God,
And
yeah,
there's
let's
a
not
rescue.
have that
Then
happen.
I'd
Yeah.
hate her. I'd hate her. We don't need another Orihime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. No more.
Meliodas-kun! Meliodas-kun! That's what we're gonna say.
Meliodas-sama.
Meliodas-sama.
Can we talk about art? Okay.
Your art is gorgeous in this.
So good. The one that I had a mental note in my head, and I was like, I need to say this at the beginning of the art section, or I'm gonna forget it. And I feel kind of smart for having it, even though it's probably not that smart of a thing. But something I loved in this manga was the way the mangaka refused to stay within the lines. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed that,
I totally
but how,
agree.
like, especially during the action scenes with the sound effects, they were always going out of the lines. Like, he was not allowing himself to be herself. I don't know the gender of this is the mangaka, but was not allowing themselves to keep that, like, be within the lines at all. So it made it that much more impactful because you're like, this is super intense because it's literally everywhere. Like, it's bleeding out all over the place, which I love. I love that.
I like the art, but there were several instances where the backgrounds were really crowded, and it made it really hard to distinguish what was in the foreground. So, like, when there was a more simplistic background or action sequences, I thought they looked great. But, like, whenever it was a large scale battle and people were flying everywhere, that's where it was kind of hard to follow.
I just thought that it was a really interesting mesh of more of like a bubbly shonen style in general, but like a lot of shading, a lot of detail that you would normally see in a much more serious manga. So I thought that the two sort of meshed in a way that was really cool. And I think that's one of the reasons why when I started reading the manga, I was like, whoa, this looks so much better than I thought it would based on the anime.
Yeah, I really love the art actually, and then when I was reading it, I was thinking what you guys would say about it, and I'm like, oh, I hope I'm not the only one, and it's nice to know that you guys liked it too. And also another thought that I had when I was reading it, like Aaron said, you know, it's he or she doesn't stick to the within the lines, it's kind of sketchy kind of look to it, and it works really well. I was thinking like, man, Yoshihiro Tagashi that does Hunter x Hunter, he should take notes of that because his like chapters and his art style in a way like later on like it's very like messy but you can make it look so good using that kind of style and he just he does a great job with Seven Deadly Sins and the art is actually one of the things that I like most about it. It really immersed me into the story, just like flowed really well with me, worked really well with my eyes.
Flowed really well with me.
Within me. Eyes. I can confirm at this point that Nakaba Suzuki is a gentleman.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. After like 4 of us.
There are definitely side characters that feel very Akira Toriyama to me.
Yeah, that's what somebody in chat was bringing up.
Yeah,
Elizabeth reminds me of Bulma, like the way she looks.
Silver hair Bulma.
Very in like band, like very Dragon Ball. There's a lot of I would agree that like very similar to Dragon Ball.
I was gonna say the first character that made me feel that way was the very first like assistant Holy Knight that we met, that they led you to believe was a Holy Knight in the like very first chapter. Mm-hmm. When I saw him, I was like, God, he's reminding me of something, and I'm not sure what. And I think he reminds me of like a Nappa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Akira Toriyama character.
He's Nappa, but he's got like the Alex Lewis Armstrong. Like,
yeah. It's like if Arakawa and Toriyama were like, "Do you want to make a character, baby?" Yeah.
Going back to art for a second, I think I agree with everyone in terms of the art is absolutely fantastic. The thing that I like the most and the thing I want to point out in regards to the artwork is how much of a contrast there is between everything else and the armor designs. Because the armor design, it's like we were talking, like it seems very Berserk inspired, and it stands out. Like it looks different. Like even the designs themselves are like really exaggerated. They've got like massive shoulders, big heads, and they just kind of look unnatural. And I really like that. It was a good juxtaposition to have.
Yeah, I love that. Does anybody else have any other thoughts on the art? Otherwise, we'll.
The 2-page spreads were really cool, and the colored pages were freaking amazing. I have one as my background now on the desktop, man. Looks good.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's good, and man, good coloring.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it, just in general.
I'm excited to read like later chapters to see if it like
same.
To just keep reading it. Like not even improved because it's like super good already. And this is one of the I was looking up the mangaka. It is a male. And this is one of his first like longer running series. Like he's had a few other ones, but they haven't been. I don't think they've been like super. I haven't even heard of most of them. But he did a golf one.
Really?
Like, yes. Oh my god, I need to read it. It's called Rising Impact. A young boy, Gaiwin, lives in a mountainous rural area with an incredible love for baseball and making the ball really fly. One day he runs into a visitor to the small area and she introduces him to a sport that can really make a ball take flight. Golf.
Yep.
Great.
I've just looked at his Wikipedia article, and the first manga series he ever bought was Doctor Slump by Akira Toriyama.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
there you
That
go.
makes
And one of his
Yeah.
childhood favorites was Dragon Ball. So
Oh,
I think
yep, there
you
it
can
is.
see a lot of where all the influences come from,
For
especially
sure.
the art style.
Oh, well, okay, I lied when I said he didn't have any long-running series. Rising Impact was 170 chapters.
Whoa.
Yeah, he has
really?
actually
Damn.
quite a bit of. He has another one called Blizzard Axel, which is over 100 chapters. So he's
Chiagu Lovers.
been in the game.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna read Rising Impact all night.
All 170 chapters.
170 chapters. All right, let's wrap up and give our final thoughts and ratings. Unless anybody else has any points they would like to bring up before we wrap up.
We can talk fights. Like, what was everybody's
Fights.
favorite fight?
They were all amazing.
I missed the question because I accidentally unplugged my headphones. We got really
what was your
confused.
favorite fight?
Ooh.
Um,
Man.
I loved watching King fight seriously for the first time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
with that girl. Man, yeah, and that girl like sort of freaked me out in terms of all of the other Holy Knights because of her just like being willing to die for the cause, so to speak. I was like, oh
that bit
fuck.
where she's
Yeah.
just like, oh right, okay, so that's how you get to the land of the dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like
stabs
kills
herself?
herself.
Yeah, straight
I was
up.
like,
there
what?
is one thing that we need to talk about as well at the end, but we'll move on to that in a second. I don't know. The thing is, the fights are all quite short. We
Yeah.
haven't got to any kind of extended battles yet. I think my favorite one, I kind of want to just kind of put that little mini bit with the four knights in the city, that kind of culminated with the fight with Ruin. I'd probably say that was my favorite bit of the whole thing because they were all so different. And the guy that could teleport.
Yeah, but he really could just turn invisible.
Yeah. He's like doop doop doop. I liked when King got real serial, but I think my favorite like action moment, it's not really a fight because it's just the thing, but when he threw like the arrow thing back at Gil.
Yeah.
Gil Thunder.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite moments in the whole thing.
Yeah.
I want to see more of Gil Thunder. Like
too.
I reckon he's gonna become a good guy at some point. Like it seems too developed to be just a random bad guy.
And he doesn't
I want-
seem like evil either,
Yeah.
right?
I wonder
Yeah.
if well they did the whole thing of being like, oh, we were childhood friends, that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
and I reckon if this is gonna go the way of Dragon Ball Z, all the major bad guys are gonna become good guys. Like
You mean like the way the shonen tends to go?
yeah. Nobody dies, they just turn good.
It's turned
Yeah.
good.
Or they die and they come back good.
Yeah. I'm good now. Yeah. Blue, what was yours?
Mine,
What was your favorite action?
the 3-on-1 fight when Gylo was
What?
just kicking everyone's ass.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that part of the fight because that was the point where like I really realized that okay, it isn't just going to be the Sins wrecking house
Yeah.
because that's
Yeah.
what the narrative has built it up to be.
It really kind of drives home the point of these guys are all mental, like on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said, like right at the start, there's no throwaways. Everyone is really powerful in their own right. But then, of course, while that fight's going on, you get that little drip feed of information being like, so she was an apprentice yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's really cool that everybody's already powerful.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see too much, or maybe there might be some kind of training thing going on later. I mean, it's like 150 some chapters at this point, but like everybody's already strong. They're confident. They know what to do. They know what's up. They have their captains, their teammates. They're getting all together, and same thing with the Holy Knights. And it's like you jump into the middle of the story, and they're trying to catch you up to what's going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that aspect.
I like that her kind of mentor had like a good sense of humor. I think it's something that we've yet to see in like the villain characters going forward, like having a bad guy that can make a joke.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what he said though, which is really annoying me. But this leads me on. How sinister was Henriksen at the end when he calls like Jericho and the other guy into that cave, and he's all like, "So, do you want some powers? I got this weird freaky clown thing. Give you some powers."
Drink up.
That being the panel to end the reading on, I was like,
ugh. I know, I ended that and I was like, oh.
Yeah, so
why do I have to stop now?
It turned out when I was reading, there were like 4 pages total that for some reason were just skipped when I was reading it on Crunchyroll. That's why I was like, I know I read all of it, but I don't remember that conversation. That's why. Because it was in the very last chapter.
Yeah, it was the very end. Like, I always got paranoid because I was flicking through the pages with my scroll wheel, and sometimes it'd go forward a bit too far.
You're just like, no.
So I was like, oh, I missed a page.
Oh no. Awesome. Let's wrap up and give final thoughts and ratings.
Everybody has to have a 7 somewhere in there, even if it's like 0.7.
77 out of 7.
77.
This should be easy for you, Aaron. You put like 8 decimal points after it.
I was trying to decide if I wanted 7.777777. But you know what? No, I'll go with that. To 7.77777, possibly higher. I'll leave it vague out there. But I kind of want to give it higher, but I also want to just stick to 7.777, just because of the fact that it's that. I love this manga so far, and I'm really, really excited to read more of it. I loved the anime. I love the art of the manga. It's so great for an action. There's a lot of mystery going on with the plot. The characters are fantastic, and their dynamic with one another is really well written. And so it just has everything that I look for in a shonen manga, and it's doing it really well. And so I'm excited to keep on reading it, and I just love the characters so much. So, yeah.
Can I go next?
Do it.
I just give it a 7. 7. Just a 7.
Can we really rate this seriously? It's gonna get like an overall 7 out of 10. It's gonna be like we all think it's better than that, but for the sake of
but we can't.
thematics.
Yeah, 7. I remember I gave the overall anime. I think I gave it a 7 on my anime list. But I did enjoy this in a manga form more.
Mm-hmm.
But the meat of the story, like the stuff that I really start caring about, doesn't really show up at this point that we read. But still a lot of good stuff. But I think giving it that 7, it's like perfect score for this beginning for me, and it definitely goes up. And I kind of want to read and catch up to it, but I probably won't, because I say that after every manga pod. I'm gonna read it, and then I read 20 more chapters, and then I'm like, oh, I forget about it.
I'm gonna amend my score. 7.7777 plus 1.
Plus.
All right.
That works.
Math.
It's our strong suit.
I was totally going to give it a 7.7 as well. Yeah, I super enjoyed it. I thought that it was really good, really fun to read, with lots of room to improve because there's so many mysteries and ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? I wonder what this is all about. So I feel like the more that they satisfy my expectations in terms of those mysteries, I would be more inclined to give it a higher score. And yeah, I think the art's great. Characters are fun. Go read it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it an 8.17. I really enjoyed the series. I had a lot of fun with it. I highly recommend it. Art's great. The fights are well choreographed and really easy to follow. There's just a lot to be explored, and I'm really hopeful that this, like, just all of this world that's being presented to us, that they're actually going to take the time and go through it, and how the Sin's absence has impacted this world. And I'm just really curious to see how it progresses, but I think it definitely delivered within the 4 volumes that we read. So 8.17 is my score.
Awesome.
So I'm just, for the sake of thematics, I'm gonna have to give it a 7.7 as well. But like, it was obviously what we've seen is kind of a small snapshot of what I believe this manga has to deliver, and I reckon that rating could very easily go up if I continued reading it, which I most certainly will do. All I'll say to break it down is, I went into this expecting 7 deadly sins, and I got 7 deadly sins. What we got? We got violence, we got murder, wanton destruction. That's 3. We got animal cruelty, because Hawk got beaten up all the time. Creepy clowns, that's a sin, right?
Totally.
Giantess fetish, there we go. And the carnal sin of being far too badass. So there you go.
The biggest sin of all.
But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Anyone who's like a fan of shonen, and anyone that's kind of interested, heavily recommend giving 7 Deadly Sins a go. I think it's got everything that a manga fan could, like, every manga fan could take something out of this. Mm-hmm. That's the point that I'm trying to get at, I think. So it's definitely worth giving it a go.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Well, that wraps up our discussion of 7 Deadly Sins. We all highly recommend that you go and check it out. It's just lots of fun and it's awesome. So now I'm going to read the description for the manga that we are reading next week, and y'all in chats get to guess what it is. Blank was a tough teen delinquent until one selfless act changed his life, ... by ending it. When he died saving a little kid from a speeding car, the afterlife didn't know what to do with him, so it gave him a second chance at life. Now, Blank is a ghost with a mission, performing good deeds at the behest of Blank, the fairy woman of the river Styx, and Blank, the pacifier-sucking judge of the dead. Good luck.
Damn.
Man.
That's the best.
Spoilers, it's
Yeah.
Kiss Access.
Kiss Access.
Mr. Crowlad got it.
Yay! Oh yeah, lots of people. Yes, we're reading Yu Yu Hakusho again.
I'm watching the anime for that at the moment. It's so good.
It is.
I'm watching it with Dodger.
Yeah.
We watch it more.
I haven't come over so we can watch more.
Wait, are you watching?
Yeah, we end up watching like random other stuff.
You're watching it in a dub, right?
We tried it.
We
in the
tried,
dub, and then
and we
we
switched.
promptly switched to the
Why?
Because we found out, because when we were watching the dub, it was so far off from what the actual things are.
Yeah,
have to
we were
watch
watching it and we were like, is this what they're actually saying?
Yeah, and so
because
we-
this seems super weird. And then we watched the sub
It's
and
so
they
good.
changed everything that everyone said.
Because it's
so
like-
Yeah, but just
much.
because
the-
it's different doesn't mean it's bad. It's
It
better.
was bad.
Listen,
it
was
bad.
So
Double
he gets
supremacy.
like hit,
Double
he gets
supremacy.
killed in the
People on
first
this
like
earth.
5 minutes, and the ambulance shows up, and he's like, "God, I hate cleanup duty."
Yeah,
Whereas
yup,
in
we
the
got
sub-
another one.
Yeah, we got another one.
That's the charm. That's what. I
This
don't
thing,
know.
old
I-
dubs take
I'm
so
on
many
Yoku's-
liberties. I love it.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie that there's charm there, but I was like, I want to get into the story and not be distracted by all of that.
All you need from the dub is Kuwabara. That's just you miss
You're
I wanted us to watch the dub. Yeah.
But yeah,
Imagine-
we're reading you.
Imagine if there was an option, if you can just like have everything the same, and just like
We-
Kuwabara.
We actually were really confused because we started listening to it in Japanese, but the subtitles were the English subtitles. And so at first we were like, oh, they really are saying the exact same thing. And then we're like, wait a minute.
Spirit sword, get
Spirit sword. Yes, so we are reading Yu Yu Hakusho next week, volumes 5 through 8, chapters 36 through 72.
I think that's for my birthday pod.
Yeah, it's for Yoku's B-Pod.
Yeah, I think it's my birthday sometime soon.
And Talia will be our special guest. So that will be super fun. So look forward to that. Let's go ahead and shout out our stuff really quick. I'm Aaron of Happily Aaron. YouTube channel's Happily Aaron. Everything else is Happily Aaron. I do anime-related nonsense, as well as mental health awareness stuff. And so if you're interested in any of that, come check out my channel. All of the previous MangaPods are hosted there. And I'm going to be doing a winter 2016 anime reaction because I've actually been able to watch stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to get that out sometime.
Okay.
One day.
Sometime. One day.
Hi guys, I'm Dodger. You might be watching this show on my Twitch, twitch.tv/dexteritybonus, but I also do YouTube, youtube.com/presshearttocontinue. I play visual novels and dating sims and things like that. And on all the social medias, I'm at DexBonus, DEXBONUS. Come hang out. Come watch stuff. It's good times.
Hi. I'm Yokurama, and you can't find me on YouTube anymore. I mean, you can, but it's the old me.
You can find them on my YouTube channel,
Yes, you
youtube.com/happily
you can find me at Happily Aaron. That's the only place I'm active lately. But I don't know. Maybe it's a new year. We make resolutions that we don't keep, but maybe I'll keep one.
So you should make the resolution to not go on YouTube ever again, so you can not keep it.
Oh, dude, that's
Perfect.
See, bit of reverse psychology.
trick myself. Oh, damn it! I made a video.
Oh, darn.
I've gone
Yeah,
against my resolution. Why does this always happen?
But yeah, or I'm kind of active on Twitter here and there. There's moments where I'm not as active as others, but then there's some days where I just tweet a lot, and that's Yokurama Talks where you can find me. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. It's fun.
You do seem to have been elevated to a mythical figure in the anime community.
I know.
I'd
What's
say.
up with that, man? I'm
It's
still.
so funny.
I feel
People
like-
would be like, man, do you remember Yokurama? He's been around a long
tweet,
time.
and then everyone will be like, "You're still alive."
I usually don't even tweet
Yoku's
about
a
anime.
legend.
I'll tweet about me drinking a beer or something, and
people are like, Yoku!
He's still
Yoku,
drinking
he's
a beer.
alive.
Well, yeah, at the beginning of this podcast, when we went live, everybody's like, Yoku?
Yeah,
He's here.
I'm still here.
Nice. My name is Lou, and I'm from Lou Talks Anime. You can find me at youtube.com/Lou Talks Anime now, where I bullshit about anime for extended periods of time. Actually, I'm kind of taking a break. I'm focusing on building something else with a bunch of anime YouTubers, and something that'll probably debut next month. So just keep an eye on my Twitter for that. Which, speaking of, Twitter is at Lou Talks Anime. Also, AskFM, Instagram, all social media stuff, just Lou Talks Anime. And yeah, that's all my stuff.
Oh, I'm Cam. I'm known as TenseiTwister on YouTube, although that name's probably going to be changing at some point. Like Lou, I'm in the middle of taking a break at the moment to focus on another project, which is a video gaming / amateur voice acting channel, which is currently more popular than my actual channel, but that happened by accident. Anyway, currently I do Manga, which is a manga review show where I get hype about manga for little to no reason. I also do Figure It Out, where I review figures, anime figures and stuff like that. That's how I got into YouTube in the first place. I also do a little skitty thing called Chance or Pantsu, where I get a random piece of anime merchandise and decide whether it's worth bothering with or not. So you can expect the wonders that are the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Carabiner, the free coaster, Dragon Ball Z tape dispenser, all the classics. So yeah, feel free to go and check out my channel. The format and everything's probably going to be changing in the next couple of months, but all my old stuff's on there. I did a tutorial on how to spot and avoid bootleg anime figures, which is quite popular.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, it took a lot of work, and I'd say it's pretty comprehensive, because it goes into the reasons why they're so damaging to the industry as well, and people seem to like that. Even if half the comments are, I don't care, it's cheap and I like it. Yeah, so that's
You mimic the internet very well.
Oh, yeah. Because half the time it's me writing the comments. No, I'm fairly chill when it comes to comments. But anyway, Yeah, thank you all so much for having me on. It's been a lot of fun. I was really nervous going in. and really
Oh,
tight.
you were great.
Well, this is my first stream where I don't have like Alan or Ebby being like, my crutches.
Aww.
This is my first foray into like the anime community alone. So, I mean,
Aww.
so obviously I know you quite well, Erin, but I've spoken to you a lot on Twitter, Lou, but we've never spoken in person before. And Yoku, you're like a mythical figure.
I'm not even here.
You're a unicorn.
Goku,
You're a
the
unicorn.
undead. Much like Van.
And then Dodger, of course I know you because but yeah, it's been absolutely wonderful. Thank you all very much.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for coming on. You're awesome. You're
Please come
lovely to
again.
have. Yeah,
Well,
you'll have to come on again.
If you'll have me, I will get up at 3 o'clock in the morning again anytime.
Yeah. That's
Not
what
tomorrow.
we like to hear.
Except
Awesome. Thank you all so much for watching us talk about 7 Deadly Sins. If you're just now joining in, you can go and watch this VOD still on my YouTube channel. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll be here same time, same place next week at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on youtube.com/happilyarin, as well as twitch.tv/dexterity-bonus. We're doing Yu Yu Hakusho volumes 5 through 8, chapters 36 to 72. Yep, bye.
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 Bye.